Welcome back. Today we are talking about the authorities. And one of the biggest pieces of information that you need to know about the authorities is that they go in a specific order. But let's rewind for a second. What the heck is the authority? So, your authority is your GPS, it is the steering wheel of the car, it is what is guiding you through life. Your authority is how you're designed to make decisions. So, knowing this, a really, really important piece is life changing. I promise you. And I want you to know that this is really, we're talking about this when we're talking about big decisions. Yes, we still want to tap in with the little decisions, but the big decisions are the ones that we really, really want to lean in and know how we're designed to make them. Now, in 1776, we shifted from being seven-centered energy beings. So that's where you see the traditional chakra system has seven centers to being nine-centered energy beings. So in human design, you can see that we have the nine centers. So what does this really mean though for us? Well, we shifted away from the mind being in control and making the decisions to coming back to the body being in control. But the mind didn't get the memo. You see, the mind is in the back seat. It's not paying attention at all. It's sleeping. It's looking out the window. It's looking backwards. It can only know things from the past. The body has the GPS. The body knows where you're going. And this is why when you get out that pros and cons list, you are so far from the body and from the truth. And it's scary to let the body lead because the mind doesn't know where you're going. And so all these fears come out. If you're afraid, if the decision doesn't really make sense, but you can feel the truth of it in your body, then you know that this is what you're meant to be doing. And your authority is a relationship that you need to develop and one that you really need to nurture and cultivate. And so it doesn't just happen overnight. The more that you can drop into this truth and knowledge and experiment with it, you're going to find you have an easier time making decisions in the long run because you're going to develop this relationship and know how to deeply and truly trust yourself. Okay, like I mentioned, the authorities go in a specific order. So, what is that order? Okay, so the very first authority in the hierarchy of authorities is the solar plexus. This is your emotional center. If you have this center defined, you are automatically an emotional authority. If you are an emotional authority, keep watching this video because there's a very important piece that I want to tell you about. Okay, if you don't have your emotional center defined, next we're looking to the sacral center. If you have this center defined, you are a generator or a manifesting generator, and you are considered a sacral authority. Okay, if you don't have either of those two defined, we're looking to the spleen. If you have the spleen defined, you're either a projector or a manifester, and you are a splenic authority. Okay, you don't have those three defined. We're looking to the heart center, the ego center, the center of will. And you are a projector or a manifester. This is ego authority. Okay, none of those. We're looking to the G center. The G center is for projectors. You are a self-projected projector if you have this center defined. Okay, we got nothing below the throat. We are looking to our mental projectors. This is where you have either your throat center, your ajna, your throat center, your ajna, your head, or your ajna and your head defined. So nothing below the throat center. So your authority for this one is called a couple different things: outer, environmental, or no inner authority. If you have nothing colored in, you are a reflector and your authority is the lunar cycle. Okay, so there's a couple things I want you to know. The more of these centers you have defined, the more ways you have for your soul to be guiding you. So it's really important that you look at what centers you have defined because they're kind of all talking to each other. But you always want to start with the one that is your true authority. Now, if you are an emotional authority, this is really like an added layer. Your emotions are really at the forefront of your decision making, but you also have a secondary authority that you can tap into. If you have your emotional center defined and your sacral center defined, now you are an emotional manifesting generator or generator. So you really want to look at the emotional authority video, but then also watch the sacral authority video. It will help you get a deeper understanding of how your soul is talking to you through your emotions and through your sacral and If you have your solar plexus defined and your spleen defined, now we're looking at projectors or manifestors. And again, your emotional authority is very strong here. And so you really want to pay attention to that video. But then also I invite you to watch the splenic authority video so that you can have an understanding of the other ways that your soul is speaking to you. If you have your emotional center defined and your heart center defined, again, we want to look at the ways in which your emotions are dictating the things that you say that you have and you need and you want. And so watch the heart and the ego video as well as the emotional center video. One last thing. You may have your emotional center defined and it's not connected to any of those three centers, or none of those centers are defined. So what you could have is you could have your emotional center connected to your throat center, or you could have your emotional center connected to your root center. So if your emotional center is connected to your throat center and you don't have your sacral, your spleen, your heart defined, now you're looking at a manifester whose emotions really need to be talked through. And you're really going to focus on the emotional center and get a really deep understanding of what it means to be a true emotional authority. And then if you have your emotional center connected to your root center and you don't have your sacral, your spleen, your heart defined, well, now we're looking at a projector that's their feelings are really going to dictate their movement. And so I really, really need to focus on the emotional center as well. I hope this has been informative for you. So next, go and watch the video that aligns with your authority. If you're enjoying what I'm sharing, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, save, share this video, all the things. I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day. Bye.